Hand Tiger Football is brought to you by a grant from First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Madison, serving the shoreline communities for 50 years.
Good evening and welcome to another night of Hand High School football on Madison Community Television. We're at the Surf Club in Madison on a beautiful Friday evening. And tonight's ball game pits the Hand Tigers against the Yellow Jackets of East Haven. The captains are at midfield
for
the snap.
Center of the field for the captains for the coin flip. Tonight's officials, the referee Dave Bragg, the umpire Vincent Morrissey, the lineman Bob McHenry, the line judge Steve Quick, and the clock operator Henry Roche. Has elected to take the ball in the second half.
East Haven has won the toss, and this year there is an option, and they have elected to receive the ball in the second half, so the Tigers will receive the ball here in the first half. And looking to win their second game of this season. Last week they beat Notre Dame of Fairfield by a score of 34-0 for their 22nd consecutive regular season win, and they'll be looking for number 23 this evening. The Yellow Jackets come off a 26-17 win last week over a very tough Seymour High School. So we're expecting a good one tonight between the Yellow Jackets of East Haven and the Tigers of Madison. Will be set for the opening kickoff in just a moment. Set to kick off for the Yellow Jackets of East Haven. Number 33, Donald Hemstack. Dropping deep for the Tigers. Kevin Piggott, number 26, and Bill Leckie, the Morgan transfer, number 7. We're just about set to go. The second game of the '84 season. The Yellow Jackets of East Haven and the Tigers of Madison.
Number 33, Don Hemstack.
And here we go. Hemstock, boots of beauty, drives Leckie back to the 5. He fields it there. He's up over the 20 to the 25. Has running room, big hole in Scud. And he's taken down at the 37-yard line. Bill Leckie with a fine run back, taken down. And they'll mark it to 36. So the Tigers will have the ball 1st and 10 from their 36. Setting the Tigers offense, Magui and Murphy the tackles, Edwards and Hughes are the guards. Ciotti is the center, Nye, Duncanson, and Sullivan the split ends. Thompson's the QB. Bryce and Pickett the running backs. And Kevin Pickett carries the ball up over the 40-yard line to about the 41. Pickup of a nice 5 yards on first down for the Tigers. Kevin Pickett, 165 yards on the ground last week. Gets 5 right there. Tigers, second down and 5. Opening minute of the first quarter. It's the Tigers and the Yellow Jackets of East Haven. Bill Leckie in for Duncanson. Top of your screen, Sullivan in the slot. I formation to give once again to Pickett. He pulls his way forward for about 2. Bring up 3rd and 3.
By number 77, Ben Micazo.
East Haven's defense. Frank LaQuarrie is the nose tackle. Scott Mitchell and Ben Mascuco are the tackles. Scott Vaspiciano and Robert Walston are the ends. The linebackers, Anthony Sperandio, also the quarterback. Don Hemstack, the other backer. The Monsters, Ken Horton. The halfbacks, Joe Kikosicki, Jody Longley, and the safety, Gary Foster. 3rd and 3. Thompson sprints left behind the blocking of Pickett and Simmons. Has running room down the left side, and he's driven out of bounds. Over the 50-yard line, inside East Haven territory. 1st and 10 for the Tigers from their East Haven 48-yard line.
Stop made by number 33, Don Hemstock. 1st and 10 hand from East Haven's 48.
Leckie split right. Nye is tight. Sullivan in the slot. I formation in motion toward the bottom of your screen. That's Matt Sullivan. Thompson sprints right. Looks for Sullivan in the flat. Has him. Sullivan spins up close to the 40-yard line. They'll mark it at the 42-yard line. Call it a pickup of about 6. Bring up a 2nd down and 4 for the Tigers. 2.5 minutes into this one. Thompson, who accounted for 4 of the 5 touchdown passes last week, barks out the signals, I formation. The give is to the workhorse of the Tigers offense, at least last week and so far tonight. Kevin Pickett picks up 1 before slipping down.
And Sean Caldwell, number
Bring up
70.
a 3rd down, and we'll call it 3.
41 to be 3rd and 2.
Yellow Jackets have their best team in 6 years. Tonight's ball game should be a beauty between the Tigers and the Yellow Jackets. 9:09 to go, first quarter action. Hand gives the ball to Pickett over the left side. Pickett up close to a 1st down. Maybe necessary for a measurement. It appears from my vantage point to be extremely close. Maybe the tip of the ball reached the 1st down. No, it will be short, bringing up an interesting call. Ball sitting at about the 39-yard line of East Haven. It will be 4th and less than 1 for the Tigers early in this one. Hand has decided to go for it early here. They line up in an I formation. Leckie wide left. Sullivan in the slot to the right. Thompson sneaks it forward up to about the 35-yard line. Picks up the 1st down. There appeared to be some movement on the offensive line, but nothing was called. Thompson picks up the 1st down. 1st and 10 from the 35. Simmons checks in at fullback. Bryce comes out. Hand has already had the ball for about 4 minutes here in the first quarter. I formation. Once again, Thompson sneaks, seeing something up the middle. Picks up 2 this time. Call it 2nd and 8 for
Don
the Tigers.
Hemstock, number 33 on the stop.
Don Hemstock, 183-pound
Bring it
junior
through on the play.
linebacker,
It'll be second
and on the
and 8.
stop. Interestingly, East Haven uses 9 of their starters both ways. So as long as Hand can control the ball and keep that defense on the field, there'll be a tired group of young men on offense for the East Haven Yellow Jackets. And so far, Hand has kept the ball primarily on the ground. Nye is now split right. Sprint out left to Thompson. Looks down and out for Leckie, but decides to keep the ball. And he gets driven out of bounds inside the 30-yard line.
Don Hemstock once again on the stop for East Haven.
Ball will be marked at the 29-yard line. Bring up 3rd and a long 3 for the Tigers. Simmons once again shuttles in the play from the sidelines from head coach Larry Ciotti. This time they'll go I formation with Leckie to the bottom of your screen. Nye's the tight end, Sullivan in the slot. Thompson pitches the ball to Pickett around left end. Pickett cuts back nicely, has some running room. Scampers up to the 20-yard line for a first down, another Tiger first down. Kevin Piggott carries the ball up to about the 20-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Tigers. 7:32 to go, first quarter.
Inside the 20.
First and 10. Thompson sprinting right, looking for Sullivan in the flat. Has him. Sullivan skips by a tackler, and he's taken down
Inside the 15.
at about the 13-yard line. Sullivan with a nifty move, skipping over the defensive back, picked up a couple extra on that.
Number 28 on the stop for East Haven.
Call it a pickup of 8, bring up the 2nd and 2 for the Tigers, as they seem to be moving the ball at will here early in the first quarter.
Gain of 7 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 3.
Simmons still in there at fullback. Piggott in the I formation. 2nd and 2. Thompson pitches the ball right to Piggott. Lots of running room. Piggott close to a touchdown. They'll mark it at the 1-yard line. Kevin Piggott on a nice run behind some nice blocking from both Ash Edwards and Bob Hughes. Carries the ball down just short of the goal line. And it'll be 1st and goal. Tigers will have 4 chances to get it in from about the 1-yard line. Half the first quarter almost gone. The Tigers looking to put it in. Bob Duncanson to the top of the screen. Sullivan to the bottom. Very familiar I formation. Thompson, he sneaks it in for the touchdown over his left guard. And the Tigers have put 6 quick ones on the board. 6:18 left, first quarter action. And the Tigers lead at 6-0. And Dennis Simmons, who hit 4 of 4 attempts in the extra point category last week, will be on to attempt his 5th extra point of the season. And of course scored 5 touchdowns last week in a 34-0 win over Notre Dame of Fairfield. Simmons kicking the first 4. John Wiesbrock, the backup, missed on his only attempt after the Tigers' 5th touchdown, which came on a 1-yard run by Chris Bryce. One of only 5 carries for Bryce in that ball game. Sullivan puts it down nicely. Simmons boots it. It's up. It's good. So with 6:18 to go, first quarter, the Tigers have started nicely. They have a 7-0 lead over the Yellow Jackets of East Haven. Thompson set to boot, dropping deep for East Haven. That's Jody Longley, number 46. And Thompson booting the ball from his own 40. And it's mishandled. Picked up by Longley at the 15. He's got running room up over the 30. And I believe the ball's popped loose. No. Longley held on to the ball, brought the ball nicely up to about the 33. So the Yellow Jackets, halfway through the first quarter, will get their first possession of the ball game. And they'll start from their own 33-yard line. Gary Foster, 155-pound junior, the quarterback. Anthony Spinadio, number 29, and Don Hemstock, number 33, will share most of the running duties. Jody Longley is the slot. And the give is to number 29, Anthony
Anthony Sperandio, the
Sperandio.
ball carrier.
He takes the ball up over the 35 to about the 36, pickup of 3. Bring up a 2nd and 7 for the Yellow Jackets.
Matt Morgan on the stop for a hand. Gain of 4, it'll be 2nd and 6.
And the give here is to Clint Longley over the right side. And he's driven down short of a first down. Dennis Simmons in on the stop. Longley picked up a couple more.
Piggott on the stop once again.
Bring up 3rd and 2. Piggott also in on the tackle. Setting the hand defense. Nose guards Dennis Simmons. The tackles, Bobby Hughes and Justin Murphy. Chris Bryce and Timmy Nye are the ends. Pegnataro and Wynoski are the rovers. Morgan and Leckie, the linebackers. Piggott and Sullivan are the safeties. 3rd and 2 for East Haven, looking for their first down of this game. And Anthony Sperandio carries the ball up just shy of the 45.
Makes the stop for hand.
He'll mark it at the 44, but it's enough for a first down.
No gain on the play. It'll be 3rd and 2.
Penalty flag on the play. East Haven had picked up the first down. Defensive captain Justin Murphy talking it over with the officials, so it appears it will go against the Yellow Jackets, and that will negate a first down run by Anthony Sperandio. Holding, and that'll march it back.
The ball back to East Haven's 25.
So East Haven will start now from their 26-yard line. It's 3rd down. So a first down up close to midfield has turned into a 3rd and 21 for the Yellow Jackets. Lone back for the Yellow Jackets. And Foster rolls left, looking deep. And it's incomplete, intended for Anthony Bates, the 185-pound senior.
Intended for number 88.
So that'll bring up a 4th down situation for the Yellow Jackets. Kevin Piggott and David Thompson drop deep. They'll position themselves at about the hand 35-yard line. And Hemstock, it's a beauty. Thompson fields at the 40. Nice shoot, 35. And he brings it up to midfield. But Thompson's knee was down when he fielded the ball at about the 39, so the Tigers will start there. 1st and 10 from the 39.
The knee was down on the catch. The ball is blown dead at the hand, 39.
Under 4 minutes to go, first quarter action. The Tigers are in front 7-0. They have their second possession of the evening. Scott Duncanson split left. Sullivan goes in motion that way, I formation. Thompson is sprinting left, looking for Duncanson on the square out. He has him. Duncanson is driven out of bounds by Joe Kikosicki, the defensive halfback on the right side. 170-pound senior. Joe Kikosicki on the tackle. Scott Duncanson on the reception. Call it 7. Thompson to Duncanson for a 7-yard pickup. Bring up a 2nd and 3 for the Tigers. Thompson sprinting right, looking deep for Leckie, but he's overthrown Leckie. Leckie with good wheels had Jody Longley beat deep, had at least 7 yards on him, and Thompson just overthrew it. Bill Leckie, a speedster, and a nice acquisition for the Hand Tigers. Second fastest in the shoreline last year to Jim Bell in the 100-meter. Brings up a 3rd and call it 3 for the Tigers. Simmons in for Bryce. strong right for the Tigers, and Thompson rolls that way. Piggott out in front blocking. Thompson on a keeper, carries the ball up over the 50, just short of the 45-yard line.
Gary Foster, that's the East Haven 45.
So Thompson picks up another first down with some nifty footwork and a nice block from Kevin Piggott. They'll spot the ball at the 45, so Han will have first and 10. 2:57 to go, first quarter action. And Han seems to have things rolling early. East Haven using primarily a 5-2 defense, 4-4 on passing situations. Sprint out left, Leckie has the ball, tries to slip a tackle. Can't, but gets close to another first down for the Tigers, pickup of 9. Bring up a 2nd and 1.
Gain of 9, it'll be 2nd and 1.
Anthony Sperandio, one of the inside linebackers, in on the tackle for the Yellow Jackets. Beautiful night for football here at the Madison Surf Club. Nice crowd on hand. Chris Wallach calling the game for you. Tie formation now, 2nd and 1 for the Tigers. Thompson pitches the ball to Piggott over the left side. Big hole over to 30, 25, 20. Over to 15. Taken down just about the 15-yard line. Kevin Piggott with some nifty juke. And they will spot it at the 15. First and 10 for the Tigers from the 15. 2:45 to go. First quarter action. Scott Duncanson checks in for the Tigers. Bill Leckie trots off. Coach Larry Ciotti calling most of the plays from the sidelines. Duncanson to the bottom of your screen. Tigers are strong left. Thompson gives the ball to Piggott on a kind of a counter move, and he rambles over the 5. And they'll mark it. It appears to be about the 5-yard line. Another hand first down, though. First and goal for the Tigers from the 5. 4 chances to put it in here. Bryce checks in with the play. Yellow Jackets having trouble on defense, stopping Kevin Piggott and the passing arm of David Thompson. Thompson once again to Piggott over the right side, and he rambles in for the touchdown. And a flag is down on the play in the end zone.
There is a flag on the play.
And a penalty is a personal foul against East Haven. And the Tigers will refuse that, so the touchdown stands. Tigers have put 6 more on the board. They now lead this one 13-0 with under 2 minutes to go first quarter. And Simmons looking to make it 6 straight extra points in his 2nd of the ball game tonight. Matt Sullivan, the all-important holder on these extra points. The snap is beautiful, the set is good, and the kick is good. So with 1:55 to go in the first quarter, the Tigers have a commanding 14-0 lead over the Yellow Jackets of East Haven. Personal foul against the Yellow Jackets on the touchdown results in a 15-yard penalty on the kickoff. So David Thompson will boot the ball from the Yellow Jacket 45-yard line. Jody Longley deep for the Yellow Jackets, and Thompson set to boot, and he squib kicks it. And the ball rolls close to the end zone. Longley picks it up, takes the ball up over the 10, short of the 15. I think they'll mark it about the 14, so the Yellow Jackets deep in their own territory will have first and 10 from their own 14-yard line, and things are not going well so far for East Haven. They now look to get their offense rolling late in the first quarter here at the Madison Surf Club, and the Tigers ahead 14-0. Tigers moved up 1 place in the New Haven Register top 10 poll. They were ranked 4th in the preseason after last week's win and Greenwich's loss. They moved up to 3rd behind number 1 Ansonia and number 2 St. Joseph's of Trumbull. Gary Foster barks out the singles. Give us to Longley around the left side. And he's driven down by Timmy Nye. Maybe a pickup of 1. Call it 2nd and 9 for East Haven. Piggott also in to help out on that tackle.
James Brandon McRae bringing up 2nd and 9.
Second and 9, lone back. Foster rolls left, looking across the middle, and the pass is incomplete. It was intended for number 28, Ken Horton, and the ball fell incomplete at about the 30. Brings up passing situation for the Yellow Jackets, 3rd down and 9. Third and 9, a pitch is to Longley. And he gets up over the 20, the 25, but he's taken down by Piggott, Sullivan, and Simmons, but enough for a 1st down. So the Yellow Jackets appeared to cross up the Tigers. There, Tigers looking for a pass. And Longley over the left side, got enough for the 1st down. Ball resting at the 28, 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets. They're still looking to get rolling as the seconds tick away here in the 1st quarter. Game number 2 of the hand football season. 2nd game also for the Yellow Jackets. 1st and 10, lots of motion on the Yellow Jackets' part. Foster rolls right, and the ball is intended for number 29, Anthony Spinadio. But on the deflection, Clint Longley pulled it down. And he crosses the 50 to about the 47-yard line. So 1st time East Haven is inside hand territory with a 1st and 10 from the 47. Spinadio and Wanaski both deflecting that, and then it fell into the hands of Clint Longley, who had gone in motion to the right side. And that'll do it for the 1st quarter action here at the Surf Club on a nice Friday evening. The score, the Tigers 14 and the Yellow Jackets nothing. First and 10 for East Haven, 47-yard line, pro set backfield. And looked like they were blitzing and maybe encroachment as they may have entered the neutral zone. Yes, encroachment against the Tigers. So the Tigers penalize 5. That'll make it 1st and 5 for East Haven. Ball to 42 now. East Haven been going with 4 potential receivers in the lone back, and once again they do that. Foster barks out the signals, fakes the ball to Longley, sprints left, looks across the middle. Oh, and it's almost intercepted by Kevin Piggott on the deflection. Pass was intended for Ken Norton. Check that, Ken Horton, number 28. Piggott had to go in and out of his hands at about the 30-yard line. Second and 5 for the Yellow Jackets. They obviously like to throw the ball. The receivers so far tonight have not been able to hang on to it. Pro set, strong left, East Haven. Longley comes in motion. The give is to Benadio. And there's a flag on the play. Winoski was over there on the tackle. And it'll be a face mask penalty against the Tigers. So early in the 2nd quarter, the breaks are all East Haven's as the ball gets put down at about the 24-yard line. It'll be a 1st and 10 now for East Haven. Good field position as they look to get on the board. They trail 14-0 in this one.
It's a 1st down for East Haven on the hand, 24.
Don Hemstock, the lone back. Longley in motion once again. The fake is to Longley. Sprint left, looking deep for Alan Bates. And it's incomplete in the end zone. Second and 10 for East Haven. And the ball carrier is Longley. He takes the ball up close to the 25-yard line. Check that up close to the 20. Call it the 21. Bring up 3rd and 7. And last time they had a 3rd and 9. East Haven crossed up the hand defense with a running play. Pro set, sprint left for Foster. Sullivan drags him down at the 32-yard line. Heads up defensive play by Matt Sullivan on the safety blitz. Yard loss on the play thanks to the defensive play of Matt Sullivan. Brings up a 4th and 18 for the Yellow Jackets, who are in a passing situation. Foster sprints right. He'll have to run with the ball. He's dragged down from behind by Timmy Nye at the 29-yard line. So on downs, the ball will turn over. The Tigers have stopped the Yellow Jackets early in the second quarter, and they'll take over. 1st and 10 from their own 29-yard line. Hands offense remains the same. And a give is to Bryce. Bryce up over the 30 to 31, a pickup of 2. Call it 2nd and 8. Bryce primarily a blocking fullback for the Tigers. Picked up 2 on that play. Sullivan to the top of your screen. Scott Duncanson to the lower left. Thompson gives the ball to Piggott. He finds running room right. Slips past a couple tacklers and taken out of bounds by number 28, Ken Horton, and number 33, Don Hemstock. And he'll mark the ball at the 47-yard line. First down for the Tigers. 9:09 to go in the first half. They lead this one 14-0. Thompson rolls right, looking deep for Nye. And Nye takes the ball away beautifully from Gary Foster. A beautiful play made possible by the height of Timmy Nye at 6 feet 4 inches. Just absolutely grabbed the ball away from the safety, Gary Foster, and the ball is marked down at the 4-yard line where Timmy Nye went down. It'll be 1st and goal from the hand for Thompson to Nye. First and goal from the 4. The give is to Piggott over the right side. He slips through for the touchdown. Kevin Piggott puts another 6 on the board for the Tigers. And it is now 20-0 Tigers. And Dennis Simmons already on to attempt the extra point. As Hand looking to put this one away early. Looks to make it 21-0 here with Dennis Simmons' kick. As you recall, in last week's game, Hand started out very slowly on offense. Only had a 7-0 lead over Notre Dame of Fairfield at the half, and then came on strong in the second half. Simmons' extra point attempt is wide right. So Simmons misses his first extra point attempt of the season, but nonetheless, the Tigers have a commanding 20-0 lead with 8:19 to go here in the first half. Thompson set to boot. Jody Longley is deep, and Longley fields it at the 15-yard line up over the 25, and he's taken down short of the 30-yard line. So the Yellow Jackets will have the ball 1st and 10 from their own 27-yard line. East Haven put on 26 points on the board last week against Seymour. They've yet to score here. The Tigers have the lead 20-0. Hand stays with their same defense. Lone back is Benandio, and he picks up 2 yards. Call it 2nd and 8 for the Yellow Jackets. Spenandio and Hemstock and Longley doing the running primarily for the Yellow Jackets. Now it's Hemstock in there. But the pitch goes to Longley around the left side. Longley driven down by Rob Pegdatero and Bill Leckie. Pick up of another couple. Call it 3. Make it 3rd and 5 or 3rd and a long 4. Bob Duncanson checks in on defense. Kevin Piggott comes out of the ball game. 3rd and 5. Foster gives the ball to Horton. And Ken Horton, the senior, is shy of a first down by about 2 yards. Brings up 4th and 2 and a punting situation for the Yellow Jackets. Thompson and Piggott will drop deep. Don Hemstock does the punting for the Yellow Jackets. Piggott and Sullivan check that. Piggott and Thompson stand at their own 35, and the ball is bounced down at the 20-yard line. Pick up at the 15 by Piggott. He runs to his left, and he's taken down at about the 20-yard line. In on the hit, Robert Ralston, 175-pound senior. So the Tigers will take over, and they've marked the ball at about the 17-yard line. So the Tigers will have it there. 1st and 10, 6 minutes on the button to go. First half action, and the Tigers comfortably ahead 20-0. And this has to please Coach Larry Ciotti here, as the Tigers had started out so slowly in their first game last week. Shades of last year as they build an early first half lead. Piggott, the ball carrier, and he's tripped up in the backfield for a loss. Loss of 2 on the play. Bring up a 2nd and 12 for the Tigers. 5.5 minutes to go. First half action. The Tigers will play next week in Meriden against a very tough Maloney squad. That will be an away game, 7:30 next Friday night. On the square out, the pass is to Duncanson. Duncanson slips past one tackler, and he's driven out of bounds. Over the 25 to about the 27. Enough for a first down, it appears. Sophomore Scott Duncanson with a nice move and a good pair of hands gets the Tigers a first down. Leckie now in for Duncanson, goes to the top of your screen. Still the familiar I formation. Thompson on the slant to Leckie, but he doesn't see it, and it's underthrown. Bring up a 2nd and 10. And very balanced in the receiving core. Great speed of Bill Leckie, and Timmy Nye possesses some nice speed, and both Matt Sullivan and Scott Duncanson have a great pair of hands. And of course Thompson can get it there. A balanced attack this year. Thompson throwing the ball 20 or so times a game, and Piggott doing most of the running. Slant pass intended once again at the other side for Leckie, and that one falls incomplete. Thompson humming the ball to Bill Leckie. Brings up a 3rd and 10, and maybe another passing situation for the Tigers. Bryce in for Simmons, check that. Sullivan and Leckie go to the top of your screen, across the middle, pass intended for Timmy Nye, but he was pressured by that front wall of the Yellow Jacket defense and had to get it off quickly. It fell short, and it'll be a punting situation. Thompson, of course, doing the booting for the Tigers. And respecting the leg of David Thompson, Anthony Bates and Jody Longley, as they drop back inside their own 35. Thompson stands on his 15. Sullivan's the safety man. Thompson boots the ball from the 20. End over end, bounces down and falls dead at the 28-yard line. Very nice punt from David Thompson, so the Yellow Jackets will have it. 4:48 to go, first half action, 1st and 10 from their own 28-yard line. East Haven like to get something going here before halftime. They trail 20-0 once again. Lone back. That's Spinandio. The fake is to Jody Longley, and the pass is overthrown. Intended for Anthony Bates. Matt Sullivan broke it up at the 45-yard line. 2nd and 10 for the Yellow Jackets. And Gary Foster possesses a nice arm. A nice defensive play kept the Yellow Jackets from picking up a first down at about the 45-yard line. Matt Sullivan with his 2nd outstanding defensive play of this ball game thus far. Bob Duncanson still in at safety for Kevin Piggott. And Ken Horton, the ball carrier. And he stumbles up over the 30, but flags are down. Maybe a clipping. Yes, it is. A clipping will go against the Yellow Jackets. That will back things up.
Below the waist against the defense.
Second and 25 for the Yellow Jackets. Ball at the 14-yard line. And makes some defensive changes. Sends in 5 defensive backs. Obvious passing situation. And Foster with a straight drop back. Looks for Spinati over the middle. Complete at the 35. A beautiful catch.
The pass is complete.
And check that. That may have been Kenny Horton on the pass completion, number 28. And he is also down at about the 38-yard line. Nice throw, nice catch by Ken Horton. Is the injured player. He ran off the field under his own power. Then East Haven took a timeout, so they'll have 2 left in this half. And the pitch goes to the right side. And Timmy Wynoski, Matt Morgan, Bill Leckie, and Timmy Nye all in on the stop. Ball carrier for East Haven there, Joe Kikosicki. First time he's carried the ball, and he trots off the field. And Anthony Spinandio is back in the ball game. 4th and 2. Hemstock punched the ball. It's a line drive punt. Bounds down at the 30. Piggott picks it up at the 25, tries to spin away, but can't. And that was Anthony Bates, number 88, 185-pound senior, with a nice ankle tackle. So the Tigers take over, 3:10 to go. In this, the first half of the second game of this season. It's the Tigers and the Yellow Jackets of East Haven, and the Tigers are out in front comfortably at this point, 20-0. On offense, the Tigers going with their starting offense. Bob Duncanson, Timmy Nye, and Sullivan are the receivers. Piggott and Bryce, the running backs. Piggott gets the call up over the 30. Comes up close to the 35, call it the 34. Very close to a hand first down, but they'll give him, I believe, 9, and it will bring up a second and a very short 1 for the Tigers. Once again, Kevin Piggott, the workhorse of the Tigers' running game. Kevin getting 165 yards against Notre Dame of Fairfield, and would like to continue that streak of 100-yard games here this evening. And if he continues to get the call as often as he will, or he has this thus far, we expect he will get over 100 yards once again this evening. High formation, Thompson straight back. Now is forced to roll out right after being pressured. Leckie's wide open at midfield. Can't hold on. That big defensive line of the Yellow Jackets putting some pressure on David Thompson. Frank LaQuarrie's a 255-pound nose tackle. Ben Masuko, a 255-pound tackle. Scott Mitchell, a 220-pound tackle. Scott Vaspiciano, a 185-pound defensive end, as well as Robert Ralston, a 175-pound defensive end. And they pressured Thompson quite heavily, as the offensive line of the Tigers not quite so big, but more than holding their own here in the first half. 2:25 to go, 3rd and 1. Thompson on the square out. Sullivan has the ball up over the 45. And Ken Horton takes Sullivan down at the 46. Sullivan having to reverse himself as the ball started out over the right shoulder. Sullivan caught it over the left. And the play good for a first down. And the ball at the 46-yard line as Kevin Piggott gets a breather. Peter Metz in at tailback. Under 2 minutes to go. First half. Thompson straight back looking for Nye. And Timmy Nye cannot hold on at the 40-yard line. Ken Horton and Jody Longley back defending on the play for the Yellow Jackets. Brings up a 2nd and 10. Clock stopped at 1:57 to go in what seems to be a very long first half. Lots of passes thrown, lots of incomplete passes thrown by both teams. Thompson, 3-step drop, looks for Sullivan on the square out, jumps over Clint Jody Longley and takes the ball to about the 37-yard line. Sullivan jumping over Jody Longley, who I want to call Clint Longley all the time. I think he was a backup quarterback for the Cowboys for a few years. It's Jody Longley, number 46. Sullivan leaped over him, was taken out of bounds at about the 37-yard line for another hand first down. Matt Sullivan, who I do not believe caught a pass in the opening game against Notre Dame of Fairfield, has just caught two here in the last minute or so. Thompson, three-step drop, looking long for Nye on the right side, and the ball is just overthrown. Gary Foster, the safety, back defending on the play, along with one of the Kikowski brothers, number 40, Joe. He is the senior. John is number 34. He's a sophomore. We've yet to see him this evening. Second and 10 for the Tigers. They want more here in the first half. Nye and Sullivan go right. Leckie left, respecting the speed of Leckie. And Thompson was pressured, had to let it go. Looking to set up the down, out, and down. Kenny Horton did not bite on it, though. And Thompson was forced to release early, and the ball fell incomplete down at the 20. Third and 10, Simmons brings in the play, out trots Chris Bryce. Primarily the blocking fullback. Very much responsible for many of the 165 yards Kevin Pickett got last week. And the same once again this evening. Thompson gives the ball to Pickett over the 30-yard line, tripped up by Jody Longley. And Pickett stumbled close to a first down at the 28-yard line. Fourth down and 1 for the Tigers. Although it appears to be close, so the referees call for a measurement. It does look short from my vantage point, but they will measure to be sure. 1:14 to go first half. 20-0, the Tigers over the Yellow Jackets of East Haven. But no, it is a first down. And the Tiger fans go wild as the Tigers now have a 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line. 1:13 and counting. Unofficially, Kevin Pickett now with 105 yards on the evening. Strong left for the Tigers. High formation. Thompson fakes the give to Pickett, rolls right, looking deep for Nye. Pursued, has to run, but no, decides to pass. Oh, and it's in and out of the hands of Bill Leckie at about the 10. Thompson looking to pass, decided to run, then pulled up short of the line of scrimmage. Pass was intended for Leckie, who was moving left to right. Ball went in and out of his hands and fell incomplete at the 10. So it will be 2nd and 10 as the clock stops with 50 seconds to go first half. Tigers would like 7 more before halftime. Peter Metz checks in. Kevin Pickett comes out for another breather. Thompson straight back over the middle for Sullivan. In and out of Sullivan's hand as Sullivan looked to run with the ball maybe a moment or two before he had caught it. And in and out of his hands and incomplete. 45 seconds to go. 3rd and 10, and the Tigers confusing the Yellow Jackets defense. Tigers have done a superb job so far in this first half of mixing up their plays, confusing the defense of East Haven. First time tonight, pro set for the Tigers. 3rd and 10, passing situation. Thompson straight back over the middle of the night, wide open at the 17-yard line. Very, very close to a first down. Very close to a first down, and they will need a measure for this one. 37 seconds to go. And the Tigers have called a timeout. So with 37 seconds to go in the first half and the Tigers in front 20-0, there is timeout on the field. Hand on the Thompson to Nye reception gives the Tigers a first down at the 17. 37 seconds to go. Clock will start on the snap. Thompson sprints out left, looks for Sullivan once again. Sullivan had the ball and lost it. They'll call it incomplete. Very close call. Jody Longley and Anthony Spinandio in on the hit for the Yellow Jackets. Clock stops, 32 seconds to go. Second down and 10. Peter Metz checks in with the play. Strong left. Thompson looking that way. Has Leckie over the middle. Leckie inside the 5 at the 2. First and goal for the Tigers at the 2. 26 seconds to go. And Thompson comes to the sidelines to confer with head coach Larry Ciotti and takes their second time out of the half, so they'll have one left should they need it. 26 seconds to go, first half, and the Tigers looking to put another 6 on the board. They already lead this one 20-0. They'll call it the 3, so it'll be first and goal from the 3 for the Tigers. High formation, Bryson Piggott in the backfield. The give is to Piggott over right tackle. And he slides in for the touchdown. Timmy Nye gives the signal. It counts. Piggott slipped in over the goal line. And the Tigers have another 6. It is now the Tigers 26 and East Haven nothing. And Simmons will be on to try to make it 27-0 with 22 seconds left to go in a very long first half of football here at the Surf Club on a Friday evening, and a nice Friday evening here in Madison. Sullivan puts it down. Simmons, extra point this time is good. So with 22 seconds to go in the first half, the Tigers have a commanding 27-0 lead. John Wiesbrock, Dave Thompson's backup kicker, a soccer-style kicker, looks to boot the ball from the 40. And Bates fields the ball at the 20, up over the 30. And he's hit hard at about the 37. Gang tackled by the hand defense. Matt Morgan and Scott Palladino. And Wiesbrock, the kicker, also in on the tackle, but a flag is down.
There's a penalty flag down.
Bates had taken the ball to about the 36, but they'll march off 15 against the Tigers. And the ball will be inside hand territory, 49-yard line. East Haven will have the ball. Personal foul was the call against the Tigers. 15 seconds to go. 49 yards to go for the Yellow Jackets to get on the board here. They trail this one 27-zip. And Foster drops back, looks for Bates, and he has him at the 30. Sullivan on the tackle. Bates with 6 seconds to go has given the Yellow Jackets a first down, although that may be academic. They may have time for 2 plays at the most. Chances are just 1, and they've just taken a timeout. So East Haven will talk about what they can do to get the ball 30 yards in 6 seconds. As they like to get on the board here, they trail this one 27-0. Maybe the final play of the first half. Foster straight drop back, looking at the corner of the end zone, but now decides to keep it. He runs the ball down, and he's knocked out of bounds by Timmy Nye, and that'll end the first half. So as they head to the locker room, it's the 3rd-ranked team in the state, the Hand Tigers 27, and the Yellow Jackets of East Haven nothing. Moments away from second half action here from the Madison Surf Club. I'm Chris Wallach. 27-0. The Tigers have the halftime lead. Recapping the scoring, David Thompson scored on a 2-yard run in the first quarter. Then Kevin Piggott ran it in from 5 yards. Both times the extra point by Simmons was good and had a 14-0 first quarter lead. In the second quarter, Kevin Piggott once again on a 4-yard run. Dennis Simmons' kick was wide, and the Tigers had a 20-0 lead. And late in the second quarter, about 22 seconds left in the second quarter, in the half, Kevin Piggott scored once again his third touchdown of the ball game thus far on a 3-yard run. Simmons' extra point was good. And they went to the dressing room with a 27-0 lead. And had 15 first downs in the first half. East Haven but 5. And had 138 yards rushing. 138 yards also passing for a total of 276 total yards. 28 yards East Haven was held to rushing and only 66 passing for a total of 94. Thompson was 10 for 19 for 138 yards in the air. Nye caught 1 pass for 43 yards. Leckie caught 3 for 34. Sullivan 4 for 41. And Duncanson 2 for 20. So as it stands, it's 27-0, and we're just about set for third quarter action between the Hand Tigers and the Yellow Jackets of East Haven. John Wiesbrock will open the second half with a boot. Jody Longley stands deep at about his own 15-yard line. Wiesbrock, the soccer-style kicker, boots a high one. It'll come down at about the 20-yard line, up over the 25-30, and take it down at the 40-yard line. That's Hemstock, also the punter and a running back. Gets East Haven into good field position, 1st and 10 from about the 39-yard line. Moments into the second half. East Haven will have to get things going quickly here in the third quarter. Gary Foster is the QB. Mix up in the backfield. And Bobby Hughes drags down Spenandio.
Anthony Sperandio was the ball carrier.
The 37-yard line. Loss of 2. It'll be 2nd and 12 for East Haven. Bobby Hughes from his right tackle position sliding through and dragging down Spenandio in the backfield. 2 receivers go left, 2 go right. Lone back is Spenandio. Foster rolls right, looks deep, being pursued by Nye and dragged down at the 29-yard line. Timmy Nye with an outstanding defensive play drags down Gary Foster at the 29-yard line. A loss of 7. And that'll bring up 3rd and a long 19 for the Yellow Jackets, and things are not starting out well for them here in the second half at the Madison Surf Club. Tough place to play for any opposing team here at the Madison Surf Club, where the Hand Tigers rarely lose. Pro set now for East Haven on 3rd and 19. And a give is to Ken Horton, and he's driven down shy of the 30-yard line by Dennis Simmons and Rob Pignataro.
Pignataro and Simmons combined for the stop. No gain on the play.
Punting situation for East Haven. They picked up 1 short-yard line. 4th and 18. Hemstock standing at his own 19-yard line. Setting to boot the ball to Piggott and Sullivan. Sullivan lets the ball bound at the 40. And Piggott lets it roll also. And it'll be downed at the 32-yard line. So the Tigers will have their first possession of the second half. And they'll get things going from their own 32-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Setting the Tiger offense here in the second half, Mike Ciotti is the center. Hughes and Edwards are the guards. McGooey and Murphy the tackles. Nye is the tight end. Duncanson the split end. Sullivan the slot. Bryce the fullback. Piggott is the tailback. And once again, David Thompson in at quarterback. Thompson, I formation, to give over right tackle to Kevin Piggott. And Piggott gets up to about the 34-yard line. They'll give him 2 yards on the
Peter
play.
Metz, the handball carrier.
Check that, Peter Metz, and the ball came for Piggott at tailback. It was Metz, the ball carrier, for a pickup of 2, bringing up a
Gain of
second
3,
8.
it'll be 2nd and 7.
So 1 change, and that's Metz at tailback. And now Gary Beeson in at the tight end position, but the slant pass goes to Sullivan. Sullivan catches his 5th pass of the game, and it's good to the 46-yard line and a hand first down. So Gary Beeson, the other offensive change,
at the East Haven
in at tight end. Timmy Nye and Kevin Piggott both on the sideline.
Correction at the hand, 46.
First and 10, I formation. Thompson gives the ball to Metz over the left side.
Peter Metz, the ball carrier.
And he's taken out of bounds
Stopped by
by
number 40, Jim
Kikowski.
Kikosicki. Gain of 1, it'll be 2nd and 9.
Gain of 1 on the play for Peter Metz. 2nd down and 9. Thompson, quick slant pass intended for Duncanson, falls incomplete at the East Haven 45. Brings up a 3rd and 9 in a passing situation for the Tigers. 8:05 to go, 3rd quarter action. And the Tigers comfortably ahead of this one, 27-0. Third and 9, Thompson rolls right, being pursued by Spinandio, throws it on the run deep for Duncanson. Duncanson
Out of bounds.
catches the ball inside the 15.
Inside.
They'll mark
East
it at
Haven
about
15.
the 13-yard line. Thompson to Scott Duncanson. On about a 40-yard completion, brings the ball down inside the 15. The Tigers, once again with great field position. 1st down and 10. And they'll mark it at the 13. Thompson throwing that ball about 35, 40 yards in the air on the run.
12.
Sprinting out to his right, showing him the strength of the arm of David Thompson. This time he sprints left, fakes the down, out, and down to Sullivan, looks for him in the end zone. Sullivan for the touchdown, a 13-yard touchdown pass from David Thompson to Matt Sullivan, his 6th reception of the evening. Sullivan, I don't believe, caught a pass in the opening game against Notre Dame of Fairfield. And a beautiful strike from Thompson to Sullivan. And word has been gotten to me that a Penn State person is in the stands taking a look tonight at David Thompson, a blue chipper. Lots of big schools, BC, Penn State, UCLA, Alabama, all showing interest in Thompson. And Simmons' extra point is blocked. So it's 7:49 left in the 3rd quarter. The score is the Tigers 33 and the Yellow Jackets nothing. Longley, Bates, and Hemstock are deep. Wiesbrock's kick bounds down at the 18, fielded by Bates. And he's dragged down on the play by Bob Duncanson. Bob Duncanson in on the tackle, number 82 for the Tigers. So East Haven will start from their own 27-yard line. 1st down and 10. Defensive changes. Bob Duncanson in at safety for Kevin Piggott.
From its 27.
Bates splits out top of this screen. Foster sprints right, looking downfield, can't find anybody. Dragged down by Timmy Nye behind the line of scrimmage. And flags are down.
Behind the line of scrimmage. illegal motion against the offense.
Legal motion against the offense is declined. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 19 for the Yellow Jackets. Timmy Nye dropping Foster for a 9-yard loss. And they give us to Jody Longley. Big hole. Cuts past Bobby Duncanson. He may go all the way. Only one man can get him. That's Sullivan. And Sullivan drags him down at the 45. Jody Longley with a nice run is dragged down by Matt Sullivan on another outstanding defensive play from Sullivan at the 45-yard line. But there is a flag down. And the preliminary signal is against East Haven.
Longley's run is out to the hand of 45, but it appears it will be brought back on a clipping penalty.
Longley had carried the ball up over midfield to the hand 45-yard line. But now the ball will go back to the 28-yard line. And a clipping call goes against the Yellow Jackets. And that will delete a fine run by Jody Longley. 2nd down now and 10 for the Yellow Jackets. Lone back is Don Hemstock, number 33. Longley goes in motion as he does on almost every play. Sprint left, Foster looking for Hemstock. Over the middle, falls incomplete at the 35-yard line.
Don Hemstock, incomplete.
Gary Foster throwing the ball quite nicely for the most part, but his receiver's not holding on to the ball this evening at all. That ball should have been caught by Don Hemstock, and Hemstock will come out of the game now. Smenandio in to replace Hemstock, number 29. 3rd down and 10. 6.5 to go, 3rd quarter action. And the same play that Longley ran before for a big gain is stopped for a short gain. Ash Edwards and Timmy Nye in on the stop. Ball be marked just shy of the 35-yard line. And once again brings up a 4th down situation for East Haven. 4th and 4.
4th and 4.
And East Haven, after scoring 26 points against Seymour, has really never gotten their offense on track. And we're halfway through the 3rd quarter. Sullivan will field this one, and he'll look for the wall set up on the left side. There's a penalty flag down on the play, and Sullivan's taken down at the 40-yard line. In on the tackle for East Haven was the co-captain, Ben Basuco, 225-pound
Sullivan returns the
tackle.
ball to the hand 40. There is a penalty flag down.
Penalty will be stepped off against the Tigers. And it's a 15-yarder. So Han will have to start 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line now. And Han making some offensive changes. Chris Hevesy in now at quarterback. Scott Palladino is in now at wide receiver.
Ball is at the hand, 24, 1st and 10.
Matt Morgan appears to be centering the ball. Peter Metz, the tailbacks. He runs right, picks up a couple. Call it 2. Well, they give Peter only about a yard on the play, so it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Chris Pegnatero also in now at left tackle. Palladino splits left, as well as Bob Duncanson. Hevesy, and a pass intended for Duncanson, and he's hit hard by Ken Horton. And the pass is incomplete, brings up a 3rd and 10. Try to get all the offensive changes if I can. Matt Morgan, as I said, is the center. And also now in at guard is Dave Millard, number 62 at right guard. Hevesy sprints to his left, looks for Palladino. In and out of the hands of Palladino and falls incomplete. And the Tigers will send in their punting team.
That'll bring up 4th and 10 from the hand 24. The Tigers will be at Maloney High School next Friday evening in Meriden to take on the Spartans.
Dennis Simmons will be in to do the punting. 4th and 10. He'll be standing at about his own 15-yard line when he lets it go. Jody Longley and Anthony Bates standing at their 40-yard line. Simmons gets off a beauty. Drives Bates back to the 37. Bates running to his right. Flags all over the place.
There's a flag down.
And Bates taken down at the 43-yard line. Ash Edwards, Matt Morgan all around on the tackle. And once again, it will probably go against East Haven and will be a clip on the return, as we so often see on the punt returns. 15 is stepped off, so instead of having good field position at about the 43-yard line, East Haven will be forced to start inside their 30-yard line.
Is the penalty against East Haven on the run back. They will be penalized 15 yards. Moves the ball back to the East Haven 23-yard line. 1st and 10 East Haven from its 23.
1st and 10 from the 23-yard line. Under 5 minutes to go, third quarter. And a timeout on the field. Referee's timeout has stopped play. Referee asking some fans to please get out of the end zone. Play resumes, 4:39. Foster gives the ball to Ken Horton. Horton runs left and taken down over the 30 by Ash Edwards and John Wiesbrock. Rob Pegnataro also over there in the vicinity. Ball will be marked at the 32-yard line. Pickup of 8
on the play, 2nd and 2.
And one of the few long gains that have stood for East Haven on this Friday evening. 2nd down and 2. And now under 4 minutes to go, as East Haven will have to move quickly if they want to get back in this ball game. And the give
number 29,
is to Spinandio. He gets just enough for the first down. 1st and 10. It appears to be now for East Haven. And the referee has called for a measurement.
On a goal in the final minute of the game by Johan Helling, and defeated Kogenchuk by a score
Daniel
of
Hand
2-1.
Cheerleaders doing their part tonight
The Tigers will play
in helping hand to this 33-0 lead. The captains of the cheerleading squad this year are Andrea Thornberry and Marcy Hankey. And their coach is Mrs. Pat Cahill.
Sporandio's run was good for a first down. It'll be
1st and 10. Jody Longley, the ball carrier. And he puts a juke on Bob Duncanson, but dragged down from behind by Ash Edwards. And Bob Duncanson and Robbie Pegnataro, Chris Bryce all over there, as well as Kevin Hughes. So also some defensive changes. Wiesbrock is in at safety. Kevin Hughes is in at one of the tackles. Bob Hughes is still in there at right tackle. So the Hughes brothers are the defensive tackles. And the ball carrier is Hemstock. He goes absolutely nowhere. Ash Edwards once again over there.
The ball carrier stopped to the line of scrimmage.
Justin Murphy also in on the stop.
No gain, it'll be 2nd and 10.
Second and 10 for the Yellow Jackets. Fake is to Longley. Foster looking across the middle, wide open is number 87, and that is Robert Ralston, 175-pound senior, wide open inside the 35 to about the 34-yard line. First and 10 for East Haven. A nice pass combination between Ralston and Foster. Ralston, the bottom of your screen. Once again, Foster looks for Spinandio, and he's hit by Timmy Wanoski, and the ball falls incomplete. Flooding the right side, Spinandio and Ralston. Foster chose to go to the underneath man, Spinandio, and the ball fell incomplete. 2-2-2 left to go in the third quarter. 3-3, 33-0, the Tigers in front of the East Haven Yellow Jackets. And East Haven head coach Andrew D'Amato cannot be too happy after his team rolled to a 26-17 win last week. They've yet to put a point on the board. The give here is to Jody Longley. And he crosses the 25-20. Wiesbrock tries to save a tackle. So does Pegnataro. Neither can get him. And Longley goes in for the touchdown. So it's a 34-yard scamper from Jody Longley, the one bright spot in the East Haven offense thus far this evening. And with 2:12 to go in the third quarter, East Haven has put in their first 6 up on the board. They'll attempt to make the score 33-7 now. And the Yellow Jackets will not look for the singleton. They'll go for 2. And Foster rolls left. Wide open in the corners. Anthony Bates. He has it for 2. Bates beating Pegnataro to the left corner of the end zone. Catches the 2-point conversion. So with 2:12 left to go in the third quarter, East Haven's on the board. It's the Tigers 33 and the Yellow Jackets 8. Don Hemstock set to boot. Leckie and Wiesbrock are deep. The ball is short. Sullivan will field it at his own 25. Cuts to the right side up over the 30. And he's taken down at the 32.
Before he is finally brought down.
Sullivan brought down at the 32, so the Tigers will take over. First and 10 from the 32. And on offense, they will go with Chris Hevesy at quarterback. Gary Beeson is the tight end. Palladino the split end. John Wiesbrock the slot. The fullback is Rob Spignessi. And Peter Metz the tailback. And the give is to Metz over the right side for a couple.
Picks up 2, it'll be 2nd and 8.
Pickup of 2 for Peter Metz. And it'll be a 2nd and 8 now for the Tigers. Scott Duncanson replaces Palladino. Chris Hevesy, the sophomore quarterback, heir apparent to David Thompson next year when Thompson graduates this coming June. Hevesy's pass is complete to Duncanson. Pickup of a couple.
Anthony Bates on the stop.
Anthony Bates, one of the 9 two-way starters for East Haven, in on the stop. 3rd down and 5. Palladino to the top of your screen. Beeson and Wiesbrock to the bottom of the screen. Hevesy pitches the ball to Metz, has running room left. Cuts up over the 40-yard line till about the 42.
Near the first down marker.
Appears to be short of a first down.
It is short, it'll be 4th and 1.
It is short. 4th and a short 1. And Coach Ciotti sends Chris Bryson for Spignessi. And the Tigers will go for it here, up 33-8. 16 seconds and counting as the third quarter winds down. Hevesy fumbles the snap, gives it to Metz. Metz gets just enough for a first down. Anthony Bates tripped him up, and Peter Metz stumbled forward, getting enough for the first down. Ball will be marked at the 44, 1st and 10 for the Tigers from there. They will not get a playoff here in the third quarter, and that's it. The end of the third quarter here at the Madison Surf Club. The Hand Tigers are in front, 33-8. Set to go. Opening seconds of the fourth quarter. Hevesy sprints to the left, down, out, and down, looking for Duncanson. And it is incomplete at the 25-yard line. Hevesy showing a strong arm, throwing the ball off his back foot in the air about 35, 40 yards. And the ball is just short, fell incomplete, intended for Scott Duncanson. Scott Palladino, a well-liked player on the Hand squad. To the top of your screen, Wiesbrock in the slot. Gary Beeson, the Valley Regional transfer, is the tight end. The pitch goes to Metz right. Tries to cut back, but Spinandio has a hold of him. And Metz is tackled for about a 1-yard loss. Flags are down, however, on the play. Coaches, of course, this fine Hand team. Larry Ciotti, the only head coach ever here at Hand High School. Steve Sekula, he's been the defensive coordinator of the Tigers for the past 5 years. Steve Filippone, another assistant, coaches the running backs and defensive ends. And Tony Giannetti and Chris Hughes, also on the coaching staff of the Hand Tigers. East Haven Yellow Jackets, their head coach is Andrew D'Amato. Their assistants are Richard Carbone, John Rank, James Sano Massimino, and Carl Roan. Illegal procedure against the Tigers is declined. 1-yard loss on the play. Peter Metz tried to run right and was dragged down from behind by Spinandio. 3rd and 10, Hevesy sprinting right, looking for Wiesbrock in the flat. Wiesbrock catches the ball at the 47-yard line, well short of a first down. And the punting team's on for the Tigers. 4th down punting situation. 11 minutes to go in this ball game. It appears to be academic. The Tigers well out in front, 33-8. They've got a big one coming up a week from tonight against Maloney of Meriden, the Spartans, who won their conference the last 4 years.
Penalty flag down. Simmons kick.
Simmons' boot crosses the 30-yard line, and it's down at about the 28-yard line. Flags all over the place. As I mentioned, Maloney, Hand's next opponent, and probably will be their toughest game, at least to that date. They have some big ones coming up. Spartans, they won their 4th consecutive Colonial Conference championship last season. They're now in a new conference for them. It's called the Central Connecticut Conference Southern Division, and they should find the competition a little stronger in there, which can only help them. They're coming off an 8-2 record. And at the game's end tonight, I'll tell you a little bit more about the Maloney Spartans, the next opponent for the Hand Tigers.
Ray Page, it's 39 today. He was also 39 last year.
Retain possession. Hevesy, three-step drop, looks for the square out to Wiesbrock, and his pass flies high over the outstretched arms of John Wiesbrock, bring up a 2nd and 10. The ball marked at the 36-yard line. Spignesi and Metz are the running backs. Hevesy rolls right, and he's dragged down from behind. In on the play, that's Anthony Spanandio. Also in on the play was number 72, and that's Pat Spadacenta.
East Haven sack on the play, number 77, Tri-Captain Ben Mizuko. Ball is back to the hand, 48, a loss of 13, will be 3rd and 23.
Hevesy dragged down for about a 13-yard loss, bringing up 3rd and 23. Palladino to the bottom of your screen. Wiesbrock split wide left, Beeson the tight end. Hevesy looking long for Palladino. Fires the ball deep. Palladino catches the ball, but he's out of bounds. Nice catch by Scott Palladino down inside the 10. But he was a step out of bounds as Hevesy showed a superb arm about 40+ yards in the air. And the hand goes for Palladino, who caught the ball, but unfortunately out of bounds. Anthony Bates injured on the previous play. Nothing serious, maybe a leg cramp. Simmons back to punt. And Simmons' ball bounced down at the 30, takes an East Haven bounce, and Sullivan downs it at the 31. So the Yellow Jackets will take over. It's been a long evening for them. 9:37 to go, 4th quarter. And the Tigers are well out in front, 33-8. First and 10, Hand shifts to a 4-3 defense. They're usually in a 5-2. And Foster. Pass was intended for number 87, Bob Ralston.
Intended for Bob Ralston, number 87. 2nd and 10, East Haven from its 31.
2nd and 10 for East Haven from their own 31-yard line. Second and 10, and a give straight up the middle to Spanandio. He's taken down by Matt Morgan after he crossed the 35-yard line to about the 36.
Matt Morgan on the stop for Hand.
Pickup of
3rd and 6.
About 5. It'll be 3rd and 5 for the Yellow Jackets. Todd Vince now in the ballgame, number 76 for the Tigers on defense. Sprinting left is Foster, running room, up to make the hit is Pegnataro. He gets blocked out nicely by Spanandio. And he's taken out of bounds near midfield. Flags are down all over the place. A 15-yard penalty will go against the Tigers. Unnecessary roughness out of bounds.
15-yard penalty against Hand, personal foul. East Haven will have a
That'll move the ball
down
down to the Hand 36, where the Yellow Jackets will have it. 1st and 10. Hemstock and Longley in the backfield. And the ball is given to Longley. He goes around the right side, and he may go all the way.
Jody Longley, the ball carrier.
Jody Longley goes all the way for East Haven's 2nd touchdown of the season. or of the game. Check that.
Jody Longley, number
Jody
46,
Longley.
a 36-yard touchdown
A 36-yard touchdown run behind a beautiful block of his captain, Scott Mitchell, number 64. That sprung Jody Longley loose around the right side. A 34-yard touchdown run. And the second of the game for Jody Longley. Earlier, Longley had run also for a 34-yard run, so two 34-yard runs for Jody Longley. And East Haven goes for two. Foster looking deep for Ralston, and once again, this time in the right corner of the end zone, last time in the left corner. It's complete to Ralston, so they get 8 more, and it's 33-16 now with 8:28 to go in the ball game.
Number 74, Al Suppa to kick for East Haven. Lucky and right drop deep for home.
Al Suppa set to kick for the Yellow Jackets, number 74. And it's an onside kick, but Hand recovers it. It was number 86, Rob Vibber, that went off his hands, but it was recovered by another Tiger player. Recovered by Bobby Hughes at the Hand 49-yard line. Tigers will have it here, 1st and 10. A week from tonight, they'll be away against Maloney, and then we'll return for an unusual 7 o'clock Thursday evening start, October the 4th, against Bunnell. So the next 2 games, Maloney and Bunnell for the Tigers. And the give is to Rob Spignesi. He gets over the midfield stripe to the 49, pickup of 2. 2nd and 8 for the Tigers.
Spignesi gains 2 to the East Haven 49, to the 2nd and 8.
.747 to go. I formation. Simmons the fullback. Metz is the tailback. And Hevesy rolls left. Looks deep for Palladino. In and out of his hands at the 30. Scott Palladino. Incomplete at the 30. And Palladino, disgusted, bangs his pads on the play. Would have liked to have that one. And the crowd would have loved it also. Mentioned the Hand cheerleaders a little bit earlier. Can't forget about the Hand band, which of course I'm sure you can hear in the background, just about drowning us out. And Miss Schonk, the conductor and coordinator of a very fine Hand band and a large band, looking down at them. Looks like at least 50, 60 members.
Flag on the play, and it's being penalized. 15 yards.
There was a flag on that last play. 15 yards was stepped off against the Tigers, moving the ball back to the 36-yard line.
Ineligible receiver downfield.
Ineligible receiver downfield, obviously one of the linemen. Downfield on the play. 2nd and 23, Hevesy dumps it off to Beeson in the flat, and Beeson taken down by Ken Horton after a pickup of a couple.
Gary Beeson on the pass reception.
Gary Beeson, the transfer from Valley Regional High School in his senior year. He is the backup tight end, will be a big plus to both the basketball and baseball program. A starter in both those sports for Valley Regional last year. His father, Joel Beeson, after coaching basketball at Valley Regional, left that post and will be coaching at the Coast Guard Academy. He'll be an assistant coach at the Coast Guard. Hevesy hands off to Metz, and Metz written down for a loss of 1, bringing up a 4th down in a punting situation for the Tigers. 6:47 and counting to go in this one. It's been a long evening here at the Surf Club. Better than a 2-hour ball game up to this point. Fourth and 20. Thompson Now back into punt. And Horton and Longley deep, and Thompson for him shanks a ball, but it takes a hand bounce. And it's down at about the 30-yard line by Kevin Piggott. 6:03 left in this one, in what seems to be a never-ending ball game. Tigers are comfortably in front, 33-16. Spinandio behind Foster. Foster drops back, and he slips through a tackle by Justin Murphy. Nye pursues him, as well as Simmons, and they combine to make the tackle at about the 34-yard line. Foster able to pick up 4 after almost being dumped in the backfield. Brings up a 2nd and 6. East Haven 3 scores away from taking the lead. 5:17, once again, the same play. Longley has run for 2 35-yard touchdowns. Big gain over the right side once again. Crosses midfield to about the 49. Jody Longley with 2 34-yard touchdown runs for 12 of the 16 points the Yellow Jackets have put on the board this evening. Longley himself, as well as Piggott, who gained over 100 yards in the first half, has no doubt eclipsed the 100-yard mark for the game. This time the give is to Horton over the left side. Pegnataro and Bryce combining on the tackle. Ash Edwards also helping out. Ball spot at the 44-yard line. Gain of 5. 2nd and 5 for East Haven. Foster to Longley. Longley slips a couple tackles, hit hard by Sullivan, and taken down. And Timmy Nye also in on the tackle. Longley gets up slowly.
Matt Sullivan on the stop for hand. First down, East Haven on the hand, 36.
1st and 10 for East Haven from the 36-yard line. And it's a reverse, and it will go all the way, it appears. Horton will go all the way. A 36-yard touchdown run for Ken Horton on the reverse has drawn East Haven closer with 3:55 to go. It's now 33-22. So what looked moments earlier as a rout is now turned into a ball game. Make it 33-24. Foster will run it in for the 2. Foster, Gary Foster, the 155-pound junior quarterback, has just made this a ball game with 3:55 to go. It's the Tigers 33 and the Yellow Jackets now 24. 3:55 to go. East Haven has made it a ball game. They now trail by 9, 33-24. And expecting an onside kick. Has 9 men up close. And the ball is fielded by Beeson nicely and covered there at the 47-yard line. So the Tigers will now look to run a ball control offense and run the clock down. 3:53 to go in the ball game, and what was once a commanding lead has now shrunk to only a 9-point lead, as most of the first team starters are back in there for the Tigers. Nye back in at tight end. Duncanson split end. Sullivan the slot. It's Piggott and Bryce. Thompson will carry the ball. And he crosses the midfield stripe. He'll be knocked out of bounds at about the 46-yard line. Pickup of 7. Could be second and a short 3. .329 to go. Duncanson in the bottom of your screen. Tigers are strong left. They go straight up the middle to Piggott. He slips, but manages to pick up the first down. All important first downs now for the Tigers as they look to run the clock down. They have a 9-point lead. Tigers should keep the ball on the ground and try to stay in bounds as those precious seconds tick off the clock for the East Haven Yellow Jackets. Thompson gives the ball to Piggott, and he's bottled up at the line of scrimmage. East Haven doing a good job of gang tackling. Scott Vespasiano in on the tackle, as well as Captain Ben Masuko. Also in on the tackle, co-captain Scott Mitchell. Second down and 10 for the Tigers. Thompson fumbles the snap, rolls left, being pursued by Hemstock. Crosses upfield, has lots of room, cuts back to the right side. He's over the 30 to the 25, and he's dragged down at the 22-yard line. May have been a saving tackle. Scott Vespasiano bringing Thompson down, but another important first down for the Tigers. 2:20 and counting. Simmons in for Piggott. First and 10. Thompson on the pitch to Piggott, right side behind Hughes. And Piggott picks up a couple, late hit. Called against East Haven.
There's a penalty flag down.
Penalty to go against East Haven. Anthony Spinandio. And also number 40, Joe Kikaseki. Both in on the tackle. One of them appeared to come in a bit late. And it very well may go against the Yellow Jackets.
Preliminary call, personal foul against the defense. Half the distance to the goal line, East Haven is penalized. Back to it, 11-yard line. That's good for a hand at first down. Direction, the ball's on the East Haven 9-yard line. It'll be first and goal and from the 9.
Half the distance to the goal. Personal foul against the Yellow Jackets. Ball resting on the 9-yard line as the Tigers look to wrap things up. Thompson bootlegs to the left, now throws for the end zone, and it's deflected.
There is a flag thrown.
Jody Longley on the deflection. Mr. Everything for the Yellow Jackets. Flag on the play.
East Haven, off the distance to the goal line, and we'll put it inside the 5 and the 4. And the first goal and East Haven 4.
Penalty goes against East Haven halfway to the goal, so the ball inside the 5-yard line. First and goal for the Tigers. I formation. Sullivan will ramble for the touchdown. Matt Sullivan on a 4-yard touchdown run over the left side has given the Tigers a 39-24 lead over the Yellow Jackets and have all but clinched this one this evening. Tigers will look for two here. Thompson sprints right, no intention of doing anything but running, and he'll barrel in for the touchdown. Thompson on the keeper over the right side. Has put the Tigers comfortably now in front with 1:46 to go in the ball game. The score, the Tigers 41 and the Yellow Jackets of East Haven 24. Thompson set to boot. Jody Longley deep for the Yellow Jackets. And Thompson. Boot is fielded at the 18 by Don Hemstock, straight up the middle, powers his way over the 30 to about the 35-yard line. Jody Longley, the ball carrier over the right side, dragged down on a short tackle from Timmy Nye. 1:26 to go. 17-point cushion for the Tigers. East Haven did not give up in this one. Came back strong after a Hand had built up an early lead. And Hand forced to put back in their first-team offense and defense. And Bobby Ralston on the reception over midfield, down to the 48-yard line. Of course, the Hand defensive backfield is playing quite soft now, allowing the 10, 20-yard. As long as the ball stays in front of them, there will be no problem. Penalty, though, goes against East Haven, something they surely don't need, down 17 points with 1:05 to go, although it's academic.
Penalty is against East Haven. A 15-yarder. Takes the ball back to their own 20. Holding is the call. Second and 25. East Haven from the 20.
Holding was the call against East Haven. Backs him up. 25 to go, and Nye will drag down Foster at about the 10-yard line, and they'll call it a fumble. I believe Foster had intended to ground the ball, but it was ruled a fumble, so the Tigers will take over with 41 seconds to go, and the ball resting at about the 10-yard line. Foster, knowing he'd be dragged down for a loss, grounded the ball, hoping there would be a receiver in the area, but they didn't call it grounding, they called it a fumble. And the Tigers take over now. 28 seconds to go in the ball game. Hand out in front 41 to 24, and the Tigers call timeout. With 28 seconds to go, the ball carrier Metz picks up a couple. And the clock shows 20 seconds and counting. Tigers will run one more play, and that'll be it. 8 seconds to go. Hevesy takes the snap, pitches the ball to Metz. Gets over the 5, and he's gang tackled, and that'll do it. So the Tigers, who built up an early lead, only to get a bit of a scare late here, have come back with a 17-point victory over the East Haven Yellow Jackets. The final score in this one is the Hand Tigers 41 and East Haven Yellow Jackets 24. A quick recap of the scoring. First quarter, Thompson scored on a 2-yard run. Simmons extra point. It was 7-0 the Tigers. Kevin Piggott then on a 5-yard run. The extra point by Simmons was good, and Hand had a first quarter 14-0 lead. A 4-yarder by Piggott in the second quarter. Dennis Simmons' kick missed, and early in the second quarter, Hand had a 20-0 lead. Piggott rushed for his third TD of the game. Late in the second quarter, 21 seconds to go in the half, It was a 3-yard run. The kick was good, and it was 27-0 at that point. Third quarter action, Thompson hit Sullivan on a 13-yarder. The kick was blocked, and Han had built a 33-0 lead, and it seemed like East Haven was pretty much out of the ball game at that point. But the star of the game for East Haven, Jody Longley, came back on a 34-yard third quarter run and a 2-yard pass from Foster to Bates for the 2-point conversion. Got East Haven on the board for the first time. Was then 33-8 early in the third quarter. Jody Longley then ran another 34-yarder over the right side once again early in the fourth quarter to put East Haven on the board once again. A 2-point conversion pass from Foster to Ralston made it 33-16. All of a sudden, East Haven was in the ball game. Then a 36-yard reverse to Kenny Horton and a 2-yard run by the quarterback, Foster. Made the ball game 33-24, and Matt Sullivan wrapped up the scoring, though, after the East Haven Yellow Jackets had put a scare into the Tigers. Sullivan on a 4-yard run, and Thompson ran it in for the 2 points to make the final score 41-24. So that's how it ended up here, 41-24, the Tigers over the Yellow Jackets. Next week's game will pit the Han Tigers against the Spartans of Maloney in Meriden. It will be an away game, 7:30 start. Spartans, they won their 4th consecutive Colonial Conference championship last season, but they're now in the Central Connecticut Conference Southern Division, which they should find are going a bit tougher. Expect a good game from them next week. Last year's team was 8-2, and only 6 starters, though, return. But some of those starters, very important ones, their big gun, Craig Duran, an explosive 6-foot, 175-pound senior who rushed for over 950 yards last season. Jim Biestick, a 6'3", 215-pound senior captain, will QB the team, and he'll be looking for his favorite target next week, the 5'9", 170-pound co-captain, Scott Kosinski. So it should be a good one, the Han Tigers and the Maloney Spartans next week. We hope you'll tune in for it. I'm Chris Wallach saying so long from the Surf Club in Madison. Once again, the final score, the Han Tigers 41 and the East Haven Yellow Jackets 20.
Han Tiger football is brought to you by a grant from First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Madison,